Hey loves, Brenna Paxton here, your guide to astral and earthly travel and the creator of AstroAura.com. I am currently sitting in the parking lot of a Hobby Lobby before I go in for a very specific reason that I would like to share with you. And it's especially specific since I don't know how I feel about Hobby Lobby as a business, because weren't they at one point like, remember that whole discussion whenever it was like the right to deny people birth control based on religious beliefs from a certain company or something? I don't know. I need to look into that more to figure out if I want to be a patron of this business. But the reason I'm here, even with that in mind, is because I've been doing a ton of astral healing throughout my life. And part of the process that I have really refined over the years for doing this sort of astral healing is getting in touch with different aspects of myself, which I've talked about briefly in other videos, and I'm going to start talking a lot more about. Because basically, we have all these different parts of ourselves, right? Like, we're very multidimensional. And anytime you experience any sort of trauma or pain or shame or guilt or fear or any of these things, right? A part of ourself kind of splits off, part of our soul. I mean, you can't really split your soul up, but like a piece of you in that timeline, in that reality, kind of stays in that spot or kind of hides itself away out of not wanting to face the trauma or fear or difficulty and challenges of that situation. It kind of separates itself to protect itself. Simultaneously, it can separate itself in order to, like, even though we think it's us protecting ourselves and it just kind of happens naturally, sometimes it's also what holds us back, because that part of ourselves is like stuck in a past experience that isn't necessarily relevant or true to us anymore, but it causes the pattern to play itself out over and over and over throughout our lives, because that part of ourselves isn't healed and isn't reintegrated into who we are. And if we don't have awareness of those parts of ourselves, then we're not even able to then reintegrate them and to become an embodied human. So that's often a big, huge portion of like why all of our basic self-work doesn't take us all the way to the transformation that we desire, because you have to go really deep into the self-work, and it includes seeking out these pieces of yourselves that have gotten cut off from you or that you have lost or forgotten about. So that's where I feel that I really have a natural ability to go find these pieces of myself and of others. It's just one of those things that comes naturally to me and that I've worked with over the years. I never would have like sought that out as a, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. It just kind of happened, unfolds, life unfolds in interesting, mysterious ways. And so then now, once I recognize that that is what I do, I started working with it way more intentionally and learning way more about it, all of that. So for many years, I have been really honing in on finding those different aspects of myself and taking care of them, communing with them. It truly is the idea that, if you have a wound from your childhood that relates to, as an example, parenting, like you weren't parented the way that you needed when you were little, the only solution is to parent yourself, is to go back to yourself when you were that age in the astral plane, meet them there, and be the parent that you didn't have. That goes for everything. So that's just like an easy example. But I have done a ton of work with reintegrating a ton of different parts of myself. And there has been one version of myself that has really stayed away for a long time, that I have been trying for years and years to build up a deeper relationship with her so that she can come back and be integrated into who we are, who I am. And that is, I call her little Brenna with the pink beret. And she is like 5-ish, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to say 5. And she just wants to be an artist. She dressed up as an artist for what do you want to be when you grow up day at school in first grade, kindergarten, something like that, and had a pink beret and a paint splattered covered shirt that my sister helped me make, and a nice little paint palette in my hand. And Brenna, little Brenna with the pink beret, man, she has felt really upset at me and at the world, at life, for a really long time. And I really had to like suppress her, and I almost pushed her away, because all I ever wanted to do was just like follow my inspiration my entire life and truly own my own artistic perspective and just like do what I want when I want, create what I want without any pressure of timelines or deadlines or, you know, critiques, or this has to meet this requirement, etc., or turning that into something that would make money. All of that really upsets little Brenna with the pink beret. And I've been doing whatever I can for a long time, but really like in a very concerted effort lately, like a very specific way. This year, I have been trying to work with little Brenna with the pink beret and really help her feel understood and seen and appreciated and valued, and like she doesn't have to be stuck in these boxes that she's been put in. And whenever I've been calling on her for a long time. I've been calling her to me, and it felt like I couldn't find her for a while. Like where was she? She didn't want to come out. She didn't want to rejoin me. And when I finally did, oh my God, sorry, I'm getting like downloads right now as I'm talking. She's like talking to me right now. Because the truth is that she's telling me that she did always want to find me. Like she always has. That was the problem, is that I was casting her off. So she felt rejected by me. It's not that she was rejecting me. I rejected her. So it's like sad to say that I felt like it was a miscommunication, quite frankly, because it felt like I thought she wanted nothing to do with me, and she thought that I wanted nothing to do with her. And so we couldn't find each other. And finally, recently, I really called out to her in a really big way. And, I just miss her desperately, you know, like I knew that she's who I've been missing in my life. And, her hearing that is really what made her willing to come talk to me more and open up more. Because ultimately she was angry at me for feeling like I had cast her off for so long. And that I suppressed her, or that I was only useful to her when I was putting her to work. Because in her emotional process of things, it always felt to her that if I like that I would only call on her to perform, like, hey, like I need you to come up with the most epic idea that's gonna make me money or something. And really, I feel like that also has, or not, I mean, I know that this is also a pattern that has happened because of working in ad agencies and corporate jobs and environment, like being a graphic designer, like doing something that took my artistic practice and turned it into a financial career thing, that then, you know, having a boss say, okay, like we're doing this pitch and we need you to come up with the best ideas you could possibly come up with. And you need to do it as quickly as you can, and it needs to really wow us, and we need this to sell. We need this to be the thing that wins and makes money. That screwed me up, dude. That has screwed me up. But then there's even more layers of that, where like even before that, before I started working in advertising and marketing, when I was just growing up, even in middle school, high school, elementary school, that early on. The concept of like, okay, you can't be creative, it's not productive until you finish your homework or you do your chores or this or that, which, yes, is a good boundary to have. Like, you need to teach your children how to get things done and take care of their lives, right? But I think I really internalized it from many levels, like not just from my parents, but from teachers and things too, where they would constantly help me form this belief that was negative for me, that was about that, like, basically not honoring my gifts as the most important thing to me. It was like I needed to set my natural gifts aside, and I wasn't allowed to indulge them or touch them or work with them until I had completed everything that someone else told me I needed to do. And oh my gosh, that's been so harmful for me. And so it's funny to think about, because I also know that, like, that's the way life works right now. Like, that's how our society is very much like, okay, this is what you have to do, and you need to do this to survive, and you need to do this in order to prove yourself, and you need to do this, this, and this. And then maybe after that you can self-actualize, and maybe after that you can explore what you desire, and maybe after that you can figure out who you are and what you enjoy and what lights you up and what your passion is. But you can do all of that later. Dude, eye roll. That pisses me off. It pisses me off because, like, no, like, that's not how humans are supposed to be. We are these, like, magical creatures that just want to create and live and love and enjoy. And I know that things aren't that simple. I'm not that naive, but simultaneously, like, I'm determined to figure out a way to make this work. Not just for myself, but for everyone. Like, we live in some weird prison that's like this crazy illusion that doesn't allow us to just be who we are, and it pisses me off, and I'm over it. I'm done with it. Like, I don't want to live in that reality, and I don't want anyone else to. And, like, that's even such a privileged statement for me to make, because I have it so good. I have it so good. Like, I'm so freaking privileged. The fact that I can even be thinking about self-actualization, like, in and of itself makes me angry, because I know that so many other people don't even get that opportunity because they're just trying to survive in this super screwed up society that just perpetuates all of these horrible systems, horrible dehumanization of, like, everyone, but a lot of other people, obviously, especially people that aren't white, especially people that aren't able-bodied, especially people that aren't heterosexual, especially people that XYZ, like, all these things. Like, there's so many people going through so much, and it makes me so angry. And I'm just completely fed up with it. And before, I used to be really, like part of me is even wondering if one of the reasons why I had to kind of set aside little Brenna with the pink beret was because of how idealistic she was, and how everyone kept telling me, like, no, this isn't possible. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I'm gonna cry about this, because it makes me so upset that, like, my entire life I have known that, like, things aren't functioning the way they're supposed to function, and everyone has just dismissed me, and that's how it's felt when I was younger. Oh my God, I'm just, like, being little Brenna talking through myself right now. Like, I'm just so fucking tired of being dismissed. Like, yes, just because you have idealistic dreams, that doesn't mean that they're not possible. Like, especially for people who are so closed-minded and, like, stuck in this weird system that's just perpetuated itself, that's killing people and killing the earth. Like, I don't want to hear anything from the people stuck in that system, because I am not interested in perpetuating that system. I'm interested in creating a new system that breaks us out of it. It's so frustrating. So why am I in the parking lot of Hobby Lobby? Because little Brenna with the pink beret loves Hobby Lobby. Like, and the reason is because it was just the local craft store I had, and I would dream up, like, the biggest things, the biggest ideas in the world, and I had an amazing mother who would take me to the store and would let me pick out whatever I wanted in order to make my projects happen. Like, how, again, #privilege, but I'm so grateful for that. I really, really appreciate it. because she allowed me to truly explore my imagination. And I didn't have to suppress it in that way. Like, especially when I did get my other stuff done, you know, I would be like just in the middle of the living room floor for hours and hours, days and days and days, with a million projects spread out around me. And somewhere along the way, I like had to rein that in, and it's made me feel like so not myself because of it. And it's taken me so many years to try and get that back, and I'm ready to just have it completely back now. Like, I don't want little Brenna with the pink beret to have to hide in the corner forever. And this year has been about bringing her back to me, and I've done so much work, and she is reintegrated in me because, I mean, she's speaking through me right now, but it's like weird how it takes time. Like, it's like a part of you comes back, but then you have to let it like sink in deeper. You have to let it click. You have to let it really integrate, and it takes time. Oh gosh. I just want everyone to feel like they can be themselves, and they can be whole and fulfilled and loved and seen and recognized and honored and appreciated for the wisdom that they innately have inside of them. God, it makes me so angry that everyone is constantly dismissed for like just being who they are, and not only dismissed but shamed for it. You don't deserve that. No one deserves that. Ugh. I will never do that to you. You're amazing. Little Brenna at the pink beret, man. I'm just gonna go into Hobby Lobby and wander around and explore with her, because that's what's gonna make her excited about all of the infinite possibilities that are out there in the world. That anything's possible, because it is. And she knows that. She remembers that. I remember that. And I don't want to be the person to her that everyone else was around me. Like, I don't want to be the one saying to little Brenna, no, like, you can't do this until XYZ, or that's not going to work, or you can only do that if it makes money, or that idea is too lofty or ambitious or idealistic. No, I don't want to say that to her. I don't want to say that to myself. I don't want to be that person. That's the person who's destroyed me. Yeah. I'm gonna go to Hobby Lobby now. There's even snot dripping down my face. God, I'm beautiful, aren't I? I am. Okay, well, you know, this is life. This is the process. This is my daily practice. I just wanted to share it with you. I hope you have a beautiful day, friend. I'll talk to you soon.